What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. This is what I look like. I finally got a face cam. Oh, dang. My hair. I need to fix it. I low-key didn't make my hair today, but it's fine. We're good. I mean, I tried to for the video, I promise, but it didn't work out. So, anyways, we're going to just jump straight into it. We're going to be breaking down this whole trailer. I've already watched it, so if you haven't already watched it, make sure you go and watch it right now, because we're gonna go through everything. But a lot of people differ on this scene. Um, some people think that it's like a frequency to keep Vecna away, but then there's this other side which I am on, and it's literally just communicating to people who want to know the truth. Um, and the frequency is to block off any military that are trying to eavesdrop. And that's kind of what this whole scene is. You know, you have Mike watching the burn, and we'll see the burn later on in the trailer. And hopefully, maybe we'll see how Mike even got there to watch the burn. But I think they are broadcasting to everyone about what's actually happening in the middle of Hawkins. And they could test this theory out because Steve obviously has a walkie-talkie in his hand, and those walkie-talkies are really hard to miss. I'm not gonna lie. So let's keep going. So this scene is right after what we just went over. I do think they are on their way to watch the burn right before they broadcast what is happening. Was right after this. I do believe that Lucas is watching the burn, but from farther away. Excuse me. And you can see Elle in the background, just kind of watching them leave. But I do think this is when they leave to go watch the burn. So we can't see it right here, obviously, and it might be edited, so we can't even. We could probably see it in the actual show, but Lucas has like military gear on. He's ready to go. He's got the camo bandana. He's always. I think he did wear a bandana in season 2. I might have to fact check myself on that. But he is. I think he is staring at the burn. Mike is just closer, so it's easier for him to count down. This scene right here, I do think this is who they're broadcasting to. Just everyone who either doesn't have a family, and I could be wrong about that too, or they might not even hear it, but that could be like a little theory, like Mike and Lucas and all of them, they're all leading this rebellion in Hawkins to know the truth and what's actually happening. So this scene is actually really important. I don't know if Mike is actually still talking in this one. It could be. It definitely. I think is definitely edited to where Mike's not even in this, but it is very important. And I'll zoom in right now that Will is actually not Vecna's cursed. He's not getting, I guess, Vecna'd. But he is getting possessed or something, and I'll try and do a slow-mo and show you guys what it actually looks like. Awesome, so we'll just jump straight into this scene. Nothing too much. Obviously military going in and out of Hawkins, but those three characters is going to be Mike on the very front, Will in the middle, and then Holly, which is Mike's little sister, in the very end. And we'll see that because she's wearing an orange jacket, and it's later shown in the trailer. The destruction of Hawkins, basically. Obviously didn't get fixed, but it's definitely not what was left off in the fourth season with all the red smoke and everything. I do think this is where Mike is going to break into with whoever he does. We can kind of see the gate from here. It's right in the. I think it's the library. I think. Or it might just be town hall. We'll figure it out soon. Maybe. And here it is in all of its glory. The portal to the upside down. That's huge, actually. And this is actually where they're going to be doing the burn, obviously. Because in season 2, they controlled the upside down by burning it, but it obviously adapted which is kind of scary. Hopefully they learn from their mistakes. We'll see. We've seen this before. It's just Lucas and Max just chilling in the hospital. She sadly hasn't woken up yet. You still have the picture on the wall of the movie theater date. This is gonna be sad season. Sad season. I think this is the same scene. I don't know why he's crying. Max could have said something, or he had a vision that or the doctors could have said something like, she's not gonna wake up again, which is really sad to see or hear, which is probably why he's crying, honestly. So right here, the main point of this first portion, obviously I've been talking about it a lot, so it must mean something, is the burn. This is basically them trying to control the portal, and we've already seen that happen, or gate, not portal. But they've tried to control it before in season 2. That didn't work out for them, and 11 had to come and help them out. This really, it has significance, but I think this is just, I think they're going to open up like how they did with season 3. They're going to show scientists trying to control this like they did with season 3 when they tried to open the gate. Very parallel, like they're trying to close it. Season 3 they tried to open it, and I think this is probably going to be in the first 5 minutes of the first episode. So with this shot right here, I don't want to be called crazy. I got this idea from another person. His channel will flash the screen right now. Awesome. I don't think that's the Hawkins lab that they're staring at. I think they're trying to hide something that's huge, and they just picked the Hawkins lab and slapped it right in front. It doesn't look like it would be there. Like, as we know, there's so many trees around Hawkins lab and a fence, and I don't see any of it in this clip, honestly. And I could be wrong. But I do think this is just something they edited in for the trailer to not spoil any, big surprise within the show. It just kind of looks like that, you know? Moving on. Okay, this scene's kind of important. We obviously have a map. I'm trying to see... Okay, I can't see if it was Town Hall with the... I think those are just street names, honestly. They're not even building names. Maybe in the very tiny fight. But they do have D&D characters. So if anyone wants to figure out who's who in there, they're a part of the plan. Obviously, we have the military truck going down towards what I'm guessing is the middle of the city. And they just made a plan, and everyone's in on it now. And now they just got to execute it. So for this shot, this kind of short scene, we'll see later in the trailer that this is actually an Epsom salt bath. Kind of like a homemade deprivation tank for Jane /L/11. And she'll use it a lot, so much that she actually got a suit for it, which is pretty cool. They might be talking about Max, or how Mike might be worried about something because she probably screamed while she was in the deprivation tank. There's many routes that they're going with this trailer that kind of makes you think what's actually happening. I don't think any of this trailer involves the last 2 or maybe even 3 episodes. I think this is all the first 4 episodes. Like the first volume, I think, is what this trailer is. But yeah, let's move on. I think with this, it's kind of hard. Some people who like Nancy and Jonathan, they're going to say, oh, they're coming together. It's real sweet. They love each other. I actually think they're trapped and they both think they're gonna die, or Jonathan is doing something that might not end well. Another thing that I've kind of just thought of, we saw earlier in the trailer that they're kind of going to be in a group with Steve and Dustin. Maybe they got trapped somewhere apart from Steve and Dustin, and now they're like both stuck, and we'll see what happens. So to start off, we have Elle getting strapped up, getting ski masked up, ready to face the ops of the Upside Down. So she's pretty awesome looking like that. She's got her superhero mask on. She's ready to go. Okay, this is very important, guys. I'm gonna get straight for. This is very important, guys. I'm gonna be straightforward with this. This is in the past. This is in the past. That's young Will. We are gonna see flashbacks to what actually happened in the Upside Down with Will. I think this is obviously Will. In the first season, Jonathan said that he's a good hider. He probably hid in the tree. Demogorgon found him, and he had to jump. He had to risk it for the biscuit. I'm not gonna lie, guys. In this next kind of scene, we can see that is his red jacket. If you disagree, you're wrong. Here is the new character. She's gonna be like the head military. She's gonna be bad A. She's gonna be freaking sick. She's kinda gonna be against who we're rooting for. Things could switch. Could be protecting the kids. But right here, she's strapped up. She's ready to go. I don't know what she's about to face, but we'll see. Most likely Vecna. Excited to see her character. I think it's going to be kind of that season 1 feeling of Dr. Brenner. And the other girl. Oh, what's her name? I feel bad for not knowing her name. The one that Elle like actually pieced up. Anyways, we'll move on. This scene got me stressing. I'm not gonna lie. Not for anything bad. I'm just kind of confused of what's going on here. My initial thought was that it was a gate opening up, and we got to see what it like looked like. We could see that there's like blue lightning, and I don't think that's what happens when there's a gate. I'm not gonna lie. It could be another vision that Vecna is placing into their minds, and this is obviously Jonathan and Nancy, and this could lead up to why Nancy was crying. This could be another reason, like how we and why we see Will running away from a Demogorgon when he was initially in the Upside Down. But if you guys have any idea what this is, or have a theory of what it is, let me know in the comments down below. Now this scene is kind of scary. I hope they make it out alive. That's what I want to say. And that's what I'm going to say. They make it out alive. Next one, we have the military shooting either Vecna or a Demogorgon. I don't know. Either one. So, it could be the Demogorgon, but they usually leave a lot of blood from what we saw in the prison fight. But these guys definitely die. We might see more of this guy in the middle. He might become like more of a side character, but we'll see. Now with this one, I do think this is Steve, Dustin, Jonathan, and Nancy leaving the Upside Down after they were either trapped or lost. It could be the same. If it was a gate that opened up, it could be that. But they were looking up at it, and this, I don't know how a car would go up, honestly. But I think they're either leaving or going into the Upside Down. Judging by the car, they're leaving the Upside Down because it's all broken. Okay, so I'm not really sure where this happens, but it is the shed scene that we saw from the first teaser. Now we know it's a Demogorgon that got inside. I do think Will somehow happened to warn them, and that's why they were so ready to fight, or at least Joyce was. Everyone else kind of sat around. But they drove the radio station van. It's seen in the back, but I don't know where this is. The Demogorgon looks like it has been severely injured, actually. This doesn't look like a Demogorgon that is healthy and just like hasn't seen battle yet. This one looks beat up. It's already bloody, but I don't know who made it bloody. So this is the scene where Will gets like knocked out, or he just faints because Vecna's too close or the Mind Flayer's too close. We will see. this does take place in the Radio Shack. We could see from the couch in the background. Yes, this he blacks out. I don't know. There's not much to go off of. I did make a short if you guys do want to go see that. It could be that he's still working with the Mind Flayer, and he's going to be a traitor. If you disagree with me, I'll probably make a video on why I think that, and then you won't disagree with me. A lot of people actually disagree with me, but whatever. Here we see Nancy on site Wheeler. I don't know where they are now that I'm looking at this. And Jonathan doesn't look too scared about whatever's in front of him. This is what a Demogorgon looks like before it gets beat up. Like beat up bad. And this could be, maybe it got run over by like Joyce, who's driving the truck possibly. But I don't know why it would be attacking them, because they didn't really... I haven't seen in this trailer that they've done anything. Maybe they just know it's them. Or maybe it's Will controlling them. Again, I don't think my theory's bad. He actually got some major thighs, I'm not going to lie. But the other one looked like he lost a few fights. Ted's gone this season, I think. I think Ted is going to probably be gone episode 1. So... this right here is obviously the Mind Flayer, and it's right outside the Radio Shack. Again, where Will was, I don't know if he's still there. Maybe the Mind Flayer is just trying to get to Will. Or maybe that's why they have the decibel thing going right now, like the radio thing, to try and draw it to the tower. I don't know how it got here, honestly. We haven't seen it. I guess we did see it last season, but it did go into the Demogorgons in the prison. But we haven't seen it since season 3. This scene, I think, is misinterpreted a lot. I have seen, like, almost everyone say that, oh, she's cleaning off Steve or Jonathan's red stuff. I don't want to say that word, just in case of YouTube. But I don't think that at all. I think they'd kind of be dumb to put that in the trailer. I think that it's either... she's still getting nightmares from Vecna from when he got into her head in season 4, right before they left the Upside Down. Or she was protecting the people she loved, and she had to do something to another human being that she regretted, possibly a military person. And she didn't want to do it, but she had no choice. And I think people are looking into this a little bit too deep with the Steve and Jonathan. I don't think Nancy would even have blood on her. Oh, I'm just gonna leave it in. On her hands. I think she would be away from them. Like they would sacrifice themselves while she gets away. I don't think either of them would let Nancy get too close when they did. Perish. Will's getting possessed again. This show's gonna break me. This scene's gonna break me. Something definitely bad happened. Steve and Dustin are alive though, so can't be too mad about that. I think something happened to Dustin's mom. I think that's what's happening here. Because if anything happened to the other people, Steve wouldn't have a straight face. It doesn't have a straight face. He looks like he's about to cry. But if it was anyone else, I don't think he would be that nonchalant. I have no idea where they're at. They're obviously in a lab, but it could be on the military base. Maybe they found a way in through a portal, because they're obviously doing experiments. You can see in the background that they're doing experiments. It's just what kind of experiments? It's going to be a blowout right here. Something's going down. Obviously with military people, no one else. This is the deprivation suit used in season 1. I don't know how she got back in it. Maybe from the lab, or they joined forces with the military, and the military is finally like, okay, fine, you got one shot, defeat them, or you're done. But she is in that suit, like the scuba suit. And she's in a homemade bath right here. So it's like back to back, kind of hinting that she is going to be in the deprivation tank a lot, maybe this season. And I do think that they're using the homemade deprivation tank to try and find Max somewhere, somehow, but we'll see. This is Will. I've seen that it could be Nancy, but that is, I think, Will. Will is getting possessed by Vecna. It could be like a flashback from season 1, where he maybe met Vecna before but forgot about it. This could be him like regaining his memories. We'll see it from the point of view of his older self, but this is actually happening to his younger self before he got rescued. And maybe he lost that memory and he's getting it back right now. So Holly, I think, definitely got into D&D now that I'm looking at it. Maybe like a cape or something. Like earlier on we saw them biking, maybe they came back from a D&D session. But the third person riding that bike is Holly. We could see the orange jacket, or it looks like a cape now that I'm looking at it from here. But she's obviously seeing something that she does not want to see. He has blood on him, obviously, but I think it's hopefully not his. They're in the old tunnels from season 2, and we'll see that pretty shortly here. Obviously saw something. Like, I think everyone is seeing that Vecna's returning at the same point. But everyone in Hawkins can see something happening at the same time. Maybe it's like their nightmares or something. They're giving us very little to go off of. Robert got a haircut? I just noticed that. That's Robin, right? Oh my goodness. Everything's starting to click. This is my first deep dive, and I just realized that Murray is the one driving the van that the Demogorgon was on. And this is obviously before they left to go wherever they needed to go. But Murray's obviously driving the semi-truck, or the big truck, that the Demogorgon goes. I think they got news that something is about to go down, and they have to be the distraction. I hope not, because every time there's a distraction, someone ends up not making it out. I don't know who's in that car. It has a radio thing that was shown on top of the Radio Shack van. I don't know what these guys are doing. Maybe they found 11 in the woods at Hopper's house and they're trying to infiltrate it. But they have to. That's why Hopper and 11 have to leave so fast, and maybe they made it to the Upside Down somehow. This is the duo I didn't know I needed. We got two girls who want the smoke on site, and this picture kind of proves it. They see someone. I think it is in the Wheeler's house. 11 looks shocked at what she's seeing. Nancy kind of lowers the gun. Usually she's like, okay, let's bring it. But she's kind of like, okay, maybe I don't need to shoot. I don't think it's any Demodogs or Demogorgons. I don't want to keep saying Vecna, but maybe it's like a different version of him, like a kid version somehow, you know? And they're like, what is he doing here? Because they're the only two who saw him as a kid, I'm pretty sure. Because he let them see him as a kid. So they're in the old tunnels, as we could see, and this might be new tunnels, I don't know, but it doesn't look like it's in the Upside Down anymore. It looks like it actually did stay in the normal Earth world. We could see Lucas, I'm pretty sure. Erica. Actually, I think that's Lucas. I don't think that's Erica. I think that's Lucas. I think it's the same jacket he was wearing when he was visiting Max. So this could be the same day or same 48 hours. But I don't know those other two, and I feel like I should. I think Erica's about to make her parents fall asleep so she can finally help out with whatever's going on. I don't think Lucas is in the house anymore. I think he probably got kicked out, honestly. That's actually a terrible theory. Just scratch that. But Erica is definitely putting someone to sleep. And I still think it's her parents, but we'll see. We got Supergirl. She even has like a Supergirl outfit. I think she's training. I honestly do think she's training in like these training grounds. You could see the built-up bus from season 2 and what remains of it. You obviously got the sheet metal in the windows to protect from Demodogs and stuff. And 11, I think, is coming up with new power, not new powers, but new ways to use her powers. And she just jumped, so that's sick. We were all wrong. I'm not gonna lie, we were all wrong. The Demogorgon jumped out of the gate that was pounding in the first sneak peek. Do I believe it? No. I'm going to keep calling cap. There's no way that whole trailer was just for a Demogorgon. I'm not going to lie. I don't buy it. That whole trailer was surrounding, like, something's coming, something big, and then it's a Demogorgon. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. But we'll see. So in a previous video I made on my shorts, I showed you guys that in the first teaser, we see Joyce, Mike, a few other new characters, and Will in the military base, and Will blacks out. Like, he just falls to the ground. Kind of like what we saw earlier in this trailer. But I think it switches to a different camera angle, and now they're all looking at what's actually coming. Here we see Mike with the other kids we saw in the first sneak peek. Real fast, before, like, we see a shot of Vecna from behind, he looks scary. I'll get into that in a second, actually. But he looks scary. Like, his arms and fingers, I think, are a lot longer, honestly, and they look way more deadly.
Found you.
So, not like, I don't think military people are shooting this fire. I do think it's Mike who is shooting this fire, or Joyce. Either one. But Vecna's obviously blocking it. Fire doesn't hurt him anymore. Obviously, I said that they adapt to fire, which was mentioned in Season 2. I don't know why no one's kind of brought that up. But as you can see, he's just blocking it now. Like, fire just doesn't work on him. His body's a lot more reactive to things. I don't know if that makes sense, but you can see, like, spikes coming out of his body. And I think that is, like, just because he's adapted to fire. And maybe those things help him out or do something. But I'm not going to lie. He looks cool. He looks cool. Final takeaways from this video. I don't think they're telling us the truth with this teaser. They trick us into assuming certain things are happening. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to tell you what's actually happening. Or hopefully tell you what's actually happening. Hopefully I'm right, because that'd be sick. But a lot of this I do feel like is not even in the last 2 volumes. I think it's all in the first volume. I don't think they'll show us anything endgame just yet. I don't think they'll show us any endgame clips at all. I think they're going to save it for endgame so we don't get spoiled. Well, not that they'd spoil anything in an endgame trailer, but I think they should release one more trailer and have that be it. And some of you guys are going to hate me for that, but it's coming fast. I wouldn't even be mad if this was the last thing we got to see. It's the last season. I don't want a lot of information on it. I kind of want to go into it blind. But here I am reviewing and making up theories for you guys. I think I will stand by this. Will is going to be a bad guy this season somehow, some way. He's also, I'm going to make a different video on who's going to survive this season and who's not. If you guys have any other thoughts or questions or suggestions you have, please leave them in the comments below. That's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. First face cam video. Sorry if I look chopped. I did kind of last minute thing to do it with my camera. I just feel like a lot more people like seeing who they're talking to, you know? But if you guys have any, I already said that stuff. Have a nice night, or morning, or afternoon. Goodbye.